how safe, so we make it out alive. I don't wanna waste no time. Got a pain now, so I won't give you heartache.
So, hello all my beautiful lovelies. Thanks for tuning in. Hello all my beautiful lovelies, thanks for tuning in. So this video is basically going to be a 3-part series. Part 1 is going to be how I highlighted the wig. It's going to be how I added the highlights to it, step by step, the whole process. Part 2 will be how I actually made the wig. This is a wig that I made myself, and I'm going to put in all the details, show you guys step by step how I made this wig, how I sewed it down, everything. So that's going to be part 2. Part 3 is going to be how I styled the wig, how I plucked my knots. Also, there will be a makeup tutorial included with these videos. It's not part of the series, but that link will be in the description as well. So if you're interested in how I achieve this look, sunset, summer vibe look, if you're interested in that, that link will be in the description as well. Now we're getting into part 1, and this is going to be the highlights. Thanks for watching. So when you're doing this process, make sure you lay down a trash bag, and also what I did was tape the trash bag down to the ground and clip the hair down with a couple clips to hold it in place. The bleach that I'm going to use is the Kiss Lift Up Powder Lightener, which I did get from the beauty supply store, and it does have a violet color to it that will cancel out any orange tones. I also have 30 volume developer. I have my color bowl and my brush to mix the powder and the developer up in. One other thing you will need is a rat tail comb, and also you will need foil, and please make sure you tear the foils before you start, because it'll really slow you down if you have to stop and tear foil between each highlight. So now we're going to go ahead and mix our bleach up, and you're just going to go based off of consistency. So when you're mixing it, the consistency is going to show you if you have added enough developer or not, so you'll add little by little. So if it's thick, that means that is not the right consistency, because you need it to saturate the hair, and if it's too thick, it won't saturate. That is the consistency we need. We need it to be a little runnier, so then that way you'll get good saturation and you won't end up with any blotchy color or any blotchy spots in the hair. So when I laid the hair down, I did lay the wefts on top of each other, so that in that way it'll be easier for me to weave the hair. And the weaving technique that you're going to use will be used with the end of your rat tail comb. You're just going to weave in and out and pull the hairs that you're going to highlight. And we're just going to do a quick rewind, because I want to make sure y'all got that up close. You go in and out, and make sure you grab hairs from underneath as well. And those are going to be the hairs that you pull to add the highlights to. Now we're going to grab our foil, and we're just going to tuck it underneath the hair as close as we can. When you add the bleach, start from the bottom, because when you start from the bottom, it'll stick the hair down to the foil and kind of hold it in place for you. So then that way to make it easier and the foils won't shift around. Now when you get to the top, you're going to turn your brush sideways like so, and you're going to do a light feathering technique, and this is just going to avoid any lines of demarcation between the highlights and the very top of the bundle. And you're just going to again turn it sideways and just feather very lightly with the very tip of the brush, not too hard, and make sure you don't add any harsh lines. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to comb the hair with the bleach on it and add another layer of bleach to make sure everything's fully saturated. And then we will repeat this process through the whole bundle. So you're going to go ahead and do your weaving technique. Make sure you grab hair from the underneath as well. Now you're going to grab your foil and tuck it underneath the hair. You're going to grab your bleach starting from the bottom to stick the hair to the foil, and work your way up to the top. Now turn your brush sideways and feather with a light hand, so then that way you don't have any lines at the top. Then you're going to comb out the hair and add another layer of bleach to make sure we saturate everything.
Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread.
So even by just looking at the hair, you can already see that it is starting to turn into a lighter color. So that means it is processing. And so what you're going to do is just check your foils every now and then until you achieve the desired tone that you want it to be. So that's basically just what I did throughout this process. I just opened up my foils, checked the hair to see if it was the color I wanted it to be, and if it wasn't, then I just let it process for a little longer. If some of the foils process lighter or faster than the other ones, like the ones that you did first are probably going to lift first because they got bleach put on them first, you can always spray them down with a little water. So I do have a little water bottle there, and I'll just spray it down with a little water just to slow the process down. And once I do that, I'll just close the foil back up. So if you run out of bleach while you're doing this, then it's okay to stop for a second and grab your bleach, grab your developer, and go ahead and mix another batch. And you might have to do that maybe 2 or 3 times throughout this process. I know I did. But one very, very important thing that you have to remember is do not leave the lid off of your developer after you have mixed your bleach. Because if you leave the lid off of the developer, it will oxidize. And if it oxidizes, it won't work anymore. And then you'll notice that your hair won't lift like you want it to because too much oxygen got into the developer. So if you guys are enjoying my video so far, please take a moment and go down below and subscribe. Go ahead and support me and my channel, and also go ahead and click that notification bell so you can know when I upload more videos.
I could take a break from this world, running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I 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 always daydreaming, never imagined I lose my.
So once we finish doing the highlights, I will show you guys how I wash out the hair as well. But while that's processing, I am going to go ahead and start highlighting the closure. So to highlight the closure, I'm going to use the same weaving technique, but I'm going to take my comb and I'm going to fold the foil over the comb like so. And that's just how I'm going to use the comb to stick the foil underneath the hair. Once I stick it underneath the hair, I'm going to slide the comb from underneath the foil and continue to hold the hair in place as tight as I can, so that way the foil doesn't move. Now while I'm holding the hair in place, I'll take the bleach and start applying it to the hair starting in the middle. So then that way the bleach will help the foil stick to the hair so the foil won't move around as I'm applying the bleach. And then I'll just continue applying the bleach all the way down the hair. And then once we get to the top, we're going to use that same feathering technique that we used earlier, just to avoid getting bleach on the closure. And don't get too close to the lace. Try to use at least a ½ inch of a gap between where you apply the bleach and right up close to the lace, so then that way you don't have any bleed marks. Once you're done applying the bleach, as you can see, I just folded my foils in half and then I folded them one more time. and then I just folded in the ends of the foil, so then that way the foils won't start sliding down the hair while it's processing.
Wanna be free. I wanna be free.
So the pattern I used with applying my foils is when it came towards the face or where the front of the closure is, I wanted those foils to come forward because I like to have a heavier highlight in the front. And then when I got to the back section, I made those foils go down towards the ear or down the side of the closure, so that way I could get more of a lighter highlight in that area. And there's also a couple different techniques that can be used when doing the weaving with the rat tail comb. You can do fine weaves, and fine weaves are just when you weave out smaller pieces of hair, and that'll give you more of a natural looking highlight. You can do a heavy weave, it's just you weaving out thicker pieces of hair, which will give you a more chunkier, fuller highlight. And for mine, I just did like a medium weave. I didn't want it too fine and I didn't want it too chunky, but I still wanted a lot of highlights, so I just did kind of in the middle of fine and chunky just to get the desired look I wanted.
Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
So once you've achieved the desired color that you want, you're gonna go ahead and rinse out your bundles, and you're just gonna pull the foils out. Go ahead and take it to your sink or wherever you want to rinse it out at, and just go ahead and rinse it with not hot water, not cold water, but kind of a warm, lukewarm water. I am going to use a blue shampoo, or you can use purple shampoo just to help cancel out any extra red undertones or brassy undertones in the hair. And so I did go ahead and use a blue shampoo. I usually prefer purple, but the blue was fine too. And here is the desired color that I got. Now the last bundle that I did not achieve the lightest color that I wanted, so that last bundle I did end up going back in and adding a couple more highlights. But as far as like this bundle and my closure and the last bundle I did, I feel like the color came out perfectly. It's exactly the color I wanted.
Be free.
So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, especially if you want to see more of my videos. Subscribe down below, hit the notification bell so you can know when I upload more videos. And thank you for watching.